Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
We begin by giving all glory and praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
Shalom to our beloved elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. And shalom to all the beloved Akim pushing this truth with sincerity. It's the brothers from the GMS Columbus, Ohio church. And through the Spirit, we're just going to continue to tackle Daniel, the 11th chapter. Alright? And, just pretty much, Lord will try to finish it off. Either in this video or, one more. Lord willing, we can finish it all. But it is a lengthy breakdown. It's a lot of history, so we're just going to, keep chipping away at it to the best of our ability and give understanding. And Lord's word is edifying to whoever may receive it. So let's get Daniel 11 and I believe we're at verse 26.
All right. So Daniel chapter 11 and verse 26. It says, yeah, they that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him.
Right, so ultimately, we understand that we're dealing with Antiochus Epiphanes IV, and at this time we're dealing with Ptolemy VI Philometor, okay? Which ultimately, like I said, though, can you read that verse again?
Yep. Daniel 11, 26 says, yeah, they that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him.
Right, because at this time, pretty much you had Ptolemy Philopator, who at this time was, through lineage, the king of the Ptolemaic dynasty. But at this point, when he came up, he was very young. All right, so he had, regents that were ruling in his stead, okay, to pretty much, deal with governing affairs, so on and so forth. And in that, you had these certain regents, okay, who waged war to try to, pretty much capture parts of Syria once more that they had and operated, okay. But those same regents, etc., and even those of his own, society, so to speak, or citizens, revolted against him, okay. They conspired against him to try to get him out of power, which ultimately that resulted in his, I believe, his brother and sister being exalted over him. Okay, so real quick, can we just pull up a little bit of history on Ptolemy the Sixth Philometor? All right, go to his bio. Let's get a little bit of history on him, real quick, and get a further understanding of what's going on.
Alright. It's the Ptolemy, excuse me. Not now, Wiki. I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Right, nigga always want $5. This nigga off of Everybody Hates Chris. Let me get $1.
Yeah,
Nigga,
give me $1.
nigga.
Give me across the street.
Yeah, man. I was on a donation.
Gotta be.
Alright, got it. Man, we're going crazy. They really want their money today.
Damn.
Oh shit, it's
That
gonna
is
be
the money shit that Jake, bro. That's crazy. Hold on.
Alright, Philometor 6, Ptolemy the 6th Philometor. Alright. 186 to 145 BC was a Greek king of the Ptolemaic, King Egypt, who reigned from 180 to 164 BC, and from 163 to 145 BC. He is often considered the last ruler of the ancient Egypt. There you go. When that state was still a major power. Ptolemy VI was the eldest son of King Ptolemy V and Queen Cleopatra I. Came to the throne age 6 when his father died in 180 BC.
Right, see, so he came in very young, so he had regents that were, pretty much ruling in his stead, while he was, the king in name, he wasn't necessarily the king in deeds, all right? But, you got it, bro.
The kingdom was governed by regents, his mother until her death.
You see, the kingdom was governed by regents, all right? And like I said, ultimately, those regents and others conspired against him, those of his own empire. All right, that's why it says, can you read that verse one more time, bro?
It says,
Or not, Salakia, your call, Salakia.
Yep, I got you.
Daniel 11:26.
Daniel 11, verse 26, it says, yeah, they that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain.
Right, because ultimately, that resulted in what? you know, he ended up losing, you know, a war to Antiochus Epiphanes IV. You know, and a lot of people died, all right, in his stead. You see? You got it, bro, Quan.
It says the kingdom was governed by regents, his mother until her death in 178 or 177 BC, and then two of her associates, Eulias and Lynias, until 169 BC. From 170 BC, his sister wife Cleopatra II and his younger brother Ptolemy that would be the V, that's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, the eighth.
The eighth.
Ptolemy the eighth.
Ptolemy VIII were co-rulers alongside him. Ptolemy VI's reign was characterized by external conflict with the Seleucid Empire over Syria and by internal conflict with his younger brother for control of the Ptolemaic monarchy.
You got it.
In the Sixth Syrian War, 170 to 168 BC, the Ptolemaic forces were utterly defeated, and Egypt was twice invaded by Seleucid armies a few years after the Seleucid conflict ended. Ptolemy VIII succeeded in expelling Ptolemy VI from Egypt in 164 BC.
See, so those who fed, you know, on his, you know, victuals, or, you know, as they put it, you know, those that fed with him, you see, end up conspiring against him, you see. And like I said, it says, yeah, they that fed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him. You know, so he had all these, you know, forces conspiring against him, you know, those of his own government, those of his own family line, you see. And then at that time as well, all right, or, you know, a little bit prior to that, you had the Egyptian revolt, you know, so on and so forth, that was taking place. All right. So just a little brief history on Ptolemy the sixth Philometor. Okay, and ultimately, like I said, you know, just tapping into the Sixth Syrian War. All right, as well. But Lord's will, could Jake pick up in Daniel 11 and 27?
Yep. This is Daniel chapter 11, verse 27.
I'm just gonna show a
Yeah.
picture of Ptolemy. What was it,
Yeah,
the eighth?
Smack.
Yeah, smack.
Yeah.
With the Egyptian headset on and everything.
Uh,
Gone. You know.
they all hideous. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
they smack. Yeah, they smack.
You know, eat them.
Yeah.
It's treacherous.
Daniel 11, verse 27. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies at one table.
Right. So ultimately, when you're dealing with that, you see, Ptolemy the sixth, okay, and Antiochus, they both had, you know, plans to, you know, perform mischief upon each other, okay? Because when you go into it, when you deal with, you know, the 26th verse, and the reason why, you know, a lot of those people of his own government, his own family line, etc., conspired against him is because, you know, he had agreements that he made with Antiochus, all right, Epiphanes IV, you see? But in that, you know, those plans, you know, that he had, you know, was to perform mischief against Antiochus. But behind closed doors, Antiochus had plans to perform mischiefs upon him to gain, you know, parts of Egypt, so on and so forth. You see, so they both were, you know, playing, you know, a cat and mouse game to try to one up each other, okay? Which it ultimately didn't work. But you got it, bro.
It says, but it shall not prosper,
Mm-hmm.
for yet the end shall be at the time appointed.
Right, it didn't prosper. It didn't benefit, you know, neither of them, okay? You got it, bro.
Verse 28, then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant.
Right, and that's ultimately dealing with, you know, Antiochus the fourth, okay? Like I said, then shall he return into his land with great riches, right? Because, you know, ultimately, like I said, Antiochus, you know, via that war, you know, gained, you know, access of parts of Egypt. And real quick, can we get First Maccabees 1 and 16? And some precepts are recurring, but, you know, it furthers the points, and, you know, you get an understanding of the agenda, you know, that was being performed by Antiochus.
This is First Maccabees 1 and 16. Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion of two realms.
Yep.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots, with elephants, and horsemen, with great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death.
Right, you see, many were wounded to death, and that further backs up that point in Daniel 11 and 26 concerning many shall fall down slain. Okay? You got it.
Verse 19, it says, Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof.
See, he took the spoils thereof. See? One more time in Daniel 11 and 27, it says, And both these kings' hearts, or so like in verse 28, it says, Then shall he return unto his land with great riches. See? So that's how he got those riches. Alright? He got those spoils. Alright? Taking down, parts of Egypt under the hands of Ptolemy the Sixth Philometor. What you stopped at 19?
I'm at 20.
Okay, Con, you could hold that. But where we at? You can finish verse 28.
It says, and he shall,
You got it, bro.
and he shall do exploits and return to his own land.
Mm-hmm.
At the time appointed, he shall
Right,
return.
see, like you said, he returned to his own land. Okay? You got it, bro.
At the time appointed, he shall return and come toward the south, but it shall not be as the former or as the latter.
Right, because he won a second time. Alright? Real quick, can we go to Antiochus? Let's get go to Antiochus Epiphanes. And or let me see, let me try to cue it up real quick. Cause it speaks on this briefly. Can we go to Antiochus Epiphanes, the fourth in the Wikipedia, and let's jump down to wars against Egypt and relations with Rome, Lord willing. And go to the second paragraph, Baba Kushah. Or really, start the first paragraph, so
Alright, this is
Slaki, go down to scroll down, Slaki, to relationships or wars against Egypt and relationships with Rome. Might have to scroll up more. It's like the second. Right there. That it? Wars against Egypt.
Nah,
That ain't it?
alright, that shit look like it's going on.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Yep, alright. So we got Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth. It says wars against Egypt and relations with Rome. It says after his ascension, Antiochus took care to maintain good relations with the Roman Republic.
right. So we already know Antiochus came up to power through flattery, so on and so forth, and that's how he ended up being king, alright, under the Seleucid dynasty. Alright? You got it.
It says sending an embassy to Rome in 173 BC, with a part of the unpaid indemnity still owed from the 188 BC Treaty of Apamea. While there, the embassy secured a renewed treaty of friendship and alliance with Rome, greatly helped by the fact Antiochus had come to power with the help of Eumenes II, Rome's principal ally in the region. The guardians of the king Ptolemy the fifth Philometor demanded the return of Soil, Syria, and Coel, Syria in 170 BC, declaring war on the Seleucids on the assumption that the kingdom was divided after Antiochus' murder of his nephew. However, Antiochus had warning of the attack and had prepared more thoroughly. He had already built his forces and moved them into position. As soon as the Egyptian forces left Pelusium, they were attacked and defeated by Antiochus IV, and his Seleucid army.
Right, see that all ties into, like I said, dealing with how Antiochus won that first war against Ptolemy VI. Alright, because like I said, his regents already conspired against that land. Alright? And in that, Ptolemy sent, went out with that decree to try to take over this portion of Syria. But Ptolemy already catching wind of it, pretty much prepared himself and won that first battle. But you got it.
The Seleucids then seized Pelusium, giving them supplies and access to all of Egypt. He advanced into Egypt, proper conquering all but Alexandria and capturing King Ptolemy. This was partially achieved because Rome, Ptolemaic, Egypt's traditional ally, was embroiled in the Third Macedonian War.
Right,
And
because you gotta understand that Rome is in the mix of all this. They're really the powerhouse that's pretty much control. I was in a roundabout way controlling this war between the king of the south and the north. All right, what I would say they're like the referee, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And they got the rules and the guidelines in the midst. So Ptolemy or Seleucus Antiochus knew when to strike. All right, like when when Triple H. You know what I'm saying? The Stone Cold fight, and here come the Big Show. Or something. Yeah, but that's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He coming. You know what I'm saying?
Like powerbombing niggas.
Yeah. Nah, nigga, I'm the big guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I got
It's
yeah.
fucking Kane and Undertaker fighting here. No. There goes Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying?
It was next in line anyway.
Just to bring light to it, man. Gotta have fun with this thing, but you got it, bro.
It says, and was not willing to become involved elsewhere. To avoid alarming Rome, Antiochus allowed Ptolemy VI to continue ruling as a puppet king from Memphis upon Antiochus.
Right, again, Salaki going back to that 27th verse. How both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief. See? So, like I said, Antiochus had ulterior motives. Ptolemy VI Philometor had ulterior what's it called? Ulterior motives, Salaki. Alright? You got it, bro.
It said the city of Alexandria chose a new king, one of Ptolemy's brothers, also named Ptolemy VIII,
Yep.
Euergetes.
Yep.
The Ptolemy brothers reconciled and agreed to rule Egypt jointly instead of fighting a civil war. In 168 BC, Antiochus led a second attack on Egypt.
See? Going back to Daniel 11, and what we at, 28 or 29? It says, at that time appointed he shall return and come toward the south. See, he returned back to the south. See, so after that first war he fought with him, he won, he got the spoils, he went back to his land, and he thought to return again because he wanted all of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He had portions of it and let Ptolemy rule as a puppet king, but he wanted all of it.
That's
You got it.
modern day Esau today.
Yep, it's this inner turmoil, Satan against Satan. You got it, bro.
It says on Egypt and also sent a fleet to capture Cyprus. Before he reached Alexandria, his path was blocked by a single elderly Roman ambassador named Gaius Popilius Laenas.
Right. Stop there, and that's gonna. Can you finish, or Salaki, you call grab? Finish off with bro that Daniel 11 and 20. What's it, 28? Just read that again.
Yep. Daniel 11 verse 28.
Or Salaki 29. My bad.
Daniel 11:29 says that at the time appointed he shall return and come toward the south, but it shall not be as the former or as the latter.
And that's why, because of Gaius or Gaius, however you want to say that nigga name. That's why it didn't go as planned, or it didn't go as it did the first time, because that Roman elder. You see. So can you read that portion one more time, Corner Wolf, Bible for sure? See how it's all connected?
He says before he reached Alexandria, his path was blocked by a single elderly Roman ambassador. And that's important because the ambassador represents Rome.
Exactly.
And if you go to Rome and like the heads of Rome, like, oh, what? Hold on.
You said Antiochus did what?
Huh?
Huh? Alright, say less. We on the way. Yeah.
Yep. It says named Gaius Popilius Laenas,
Mm-hmm.
who delivered a message from the Roman Senate, directing Antiochus to withdraw his armies from Egypt and Cyprus or consider himself in a state of war with the Roman Republic.
You see, one more time that 29 out.
Yep. Daniel 11:29, it says,
Oh.
at the time appointed he shall return
See, he returned to try to go and take down the rest of Egypt.
Mhm.
You know, go ahead.
and come toward the south,
Yep.
but it shall not be as the former or as the latter.
See, it didn't go as planned.
Right.
Right. Gaius, because that Roman elder. He put a stop to that shit. He's like the bro Quantoff said, he's ambassador, so he represent Rome. And he's like, all right, boom, if you're gonna make that move, all right, then you at war with us. So can you continue reading Quantoff? Because it's gonna go into some details.
State of war with the Roman Republic. Antiochus said he would discuss it with his council, whereupon a Roman envoy drew a line in the sand around Antiochus and said,
And this
before,
is so fire right here. Go ahead, bro.
he said, before you leave this circle, give me a reply that I could take back to the Roman Senate. Damn.
So just imagine that, huh?
Yeah.
You know, he got his forces, you know, here come this Roman elder who represent Rome, whatever. He drew a line, he drew a circle around him in the sand. So all his men seeing their men, you know, however exactly this took place, you know, you got men watching this situation happen. So just imagine he probably drew his sword, you know what I'm saying? This is some mighty shit right now. He drew his sword, you know, walked around him, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you step outside this circle, you want war. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is real history.
That's some fly shit
This,
right
this
there.
man, this manly, this is the council of men. This is the council of war. This is a war room. You know,
Come get smoked.
it's real.
He said, give me an answer before I waste my damn time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let me know what's up right now.
Be yay or nay.
Yeah, your name. And you know, Antiochus is gonna give a response. You got it, bro.
It says, this implied Rome would declare war if the king stepped out of the circle without committing to leave Egypt immediately.
And it's so crazy because, like I was telling the elder about this last week. You know, I was doing this study. This little situation is gonna tie right into why he did what he did in Israel. Because we read Maccabees, but it's like, man, what the fuck persuaded? I mean, also we know that like scripture say, man, is going up the Lord, but what triggered this nigga to just go on this rampage like that?
Right.
Because he was already linked into Jerusalem via Jason, Menelaus, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
so on and so forth. He was already linked in. But why did he go on and start to terrorize Jake like that? You know what I'm saying? You got it, Vaughn.
It says, this implied Rome would declare war if the king stepped out of the circle without committing to leave Egypt immediately. It says, weighing his options, Antiochus decided to withdraw. Only then did Popilius agree to shake hands with him.
My name's just hideous, bro.
Yeah, I
It's
can't-
sloppy. I know Quan be over there vexed trying to read them big ass Edomite names, Popilius and Lucius and
Harmonious.
Don Tilio.
Right.
Oh, nigga. You got it, bro.
It says, ancient sources and traditional historiography describe this day of Eliasus as a great humiliation. See?
See?
Yep.
Yup, yup. You got it, bro.
His cheeks is all red and shit.
Saudi. You know when Esau Saudi,
He goes shooting on a
Hey.
shooting spree.
when Esau Saudi, that nigga be salty.
Yeah.
And he can't even hide it. His cheeks get all red, he make them smacked faces. Bro, you know when an Edomite Saudi, he be Saudi, bro. Antiochus was Saudi. He was humiliated because he would, and you gotta think at this time, and Lord's will we tap into it a little bit later on in the breakdown. You know, he dealt with divine epithets. Okay? When you look into divine epithets, it's pretty much, you know, when you're dealing with a cult or, you know, a certain group, you know, the leader is likened unto a god. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
So
that's-
he was lifted up in his pride, like, damn, like, and he in front of his men, like,
Damn.
So he went on a rant. So that's what infuriated this man to go to Jerusalem. Like, man, I'm about to
fuck these.
start. You know what I'm saying?
You got
That's the spirit. I'm gonna show you because right below what the brother is reading, you know what I'm saying? Because he said like a guy, right? So I'm gonna read this. Silver coin of King Antiochus shows seated Zeus holding Nike, which Nike means victory. And scepter, Greek inscription reads, and it says in Greek, Antiochus of victorious God manifest King Antiochus. And there's the coins right there.
Yeah.
You know, so this nigga had that pride, but he was humbled by another Edomite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You got it though, Paul.
It says the great humiliation.
Jay, you know, edified. Like,
Yeah, this showing crazy.
You got it, bro.
It says as a great humiliation for Antiochus the fourth that unhinged him for a time. Some more modern historians conjecture that Antiochus may have been more reconciled to this than ancient sources indicate. As the Roman intervention meant that Antiochus had been given an excuse to not undertake a potentially long and costly siege of Alexandria. He could instead return with treasure and loot, have weakened the Egyptian state at little risk and cost compared to a larger scale invasion.
Gone. You see? But when I said ultimately, you know, this is what sparked, all right, that rage, okay, for Antiochus to, you know, deal treacherously with the nation of Israel. But can we get Daniel 11 and 30, okay? Because ultimately, this is what that's talking about when you deal with the ships of Shittim, all right? You got it. So like that was pretty much, that whole portion was this verse 30. So let's just read it real quick.
Yep, Daniel 11 verse 30, it says, "For the ships of Chittim shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved
Right.
and return,
Yep.
and have indignation against the holy
You
covenant."
see? You see? He had indignation against the Holy Covenant, dealing with the nation of Israel.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant.
Right, because like I said at that point, I believe Menelaus was set up as a high priest after Jason. Alright? I believe what you read back about that in I think First Maccabees 20, okay, and various other chapters. Alright, he already had intelligence, okay? And Israel, real quick, can we get what's that, Second Maccabees? Because I believe at this time as well, you had a lot of commotion, all right, in the nation of Israel, all right, or, you know, in the land at that time, dealing with Jason and some more individuals. So can we get Second Maccabees 5 at the top? It's all good work right here.
2 Maccabees 5 at the top. It says, "About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt.
See,
And then it happened,
it's all Lincoln.
yep, that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 years, there were seen horsemen running in the air, and cloth of gold, and armed with lances, like a band of soldiers,
Yep.
and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes, and drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments, and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that they apparition might turn to good."
It's heavily spiritual, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Now, when there was gone forth a false rumor, as though Antiochus had been dead, Jason took at the least 1,000 men, and suddenly made an assault upon the city, and they that were upon the walls being put back, and the city at length taken, Menelaus fled into the castle."
Right, because Jason heard, because you know at this point, I think at this point Jason had been taken out of the position as high priest. Okay, and he had rumor that Antiochus was dead, so like, all right, I'm about to start terrorizing shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know pretty much he got beat out of a deal with Antiochus. Lord, that he initially made, but Antiochus finessed him and sent him in later. You know, you got it.
It says, but Jason slew his own citizens without mercy,
Hey.
not considering.
This is 2/3 nigga too.
Yeah, he gonna die.
That's crazy. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
Sloppy. Maccabees, 2 Maccabees 5 verse 6 says, but Jason slew his own citizens without mercy, not considering that to get the day of them of his own nation would be a most unhappy day for him, but thinking they had been his enemies and not his countrymen whom he conquered.
Right, so here it is, you know, Antiochus got embarrassed. He hearing one of his, you know, provinces that he got, you know, rulership over is under turmoil. So he mad as shit. You know what I'm saying? This dude he's pissed. He's pissed off, he's furious, you know? Let me see. I believe you can stop there for now. Let me see. Jump down to 11.
Maccabees. 2 Maccabees 5 verse 11, it says, now when this that was done came to the king's car, he thought that Judea had revolted, whereupon, removing out of Egypt in a furious mind, he took the city by force of arms.
See, so he pissed. He got embarrassed. He hearing one of the city. He think everybody in the city revolting. So he's like, all right, now I'm about to just, you know, this is what led up to them events. Okay. This is why, you know what I'm saying. Pretty much, he like, man, all right, say less. He already, you know what I'm saying, pissed off about what happened with Gaius. Okay. Now he hearing this shit. You got it, bro.
Verse 12, it says, and commanded his men of war not to spare such as they met, and to slay such as went up upon the houses. Thus there was killing of young and old, making away of men, women, and children, slaying of virgins and infants. And there were destroyed within the space of 3 whole days 80,000, whereof 40,000 were slain in the conflict, and no fewer sold than slain.
It's out there. So now we can jump back to Daniel 11 and where we at, verse 31. Lord willing. Now everybody, whoever may receive it is edified and able to understand, you know, the history and, you know, the linkage to the scriptures.
Come.
You got it, bro.
Daniel 11, verse 31. It says, and arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
Now can we get First Maccabees 1? Go back, because like I said again, when you read the Maccabees, all right, you deal with First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. All right, First and Second Maccabees are pretty much talking about some of the same accounts. Second Maccabees expounds on them. All right, so they're written a little bit more in depth. Because when you read First Maccabees, that kind of gives you like the outline of everything that Antiochus was going to do. All right, and even prior to him dealing with, it's a real abridged, you know, passage concerning, you know, the Greek Empire, how they came into power, the 4 generals, and how ultimately the wicked one, the vile one, came out of that in the events that took place, you know, during his time. Okay, so can we get First Maccabees 1 and 30?
Yep.
Or really, let me see. Let me go ahead and type it real quick. Really, can you still holding that First Maccabees?
Which one?
First Maccabees 1. Would you stop at 19? I think, or 20. You could just keep, if you may, you could just keep reading.
First Maccabees
Because
1.
it's gonna tie right into it.
First Maccabees 1:19. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in the 140th and 3rd year, and went up Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude,
See? It's all connected. It's all linking. You got it.
and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof.
Right, like it says, in arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength. They shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. See? It's that verse 31 going on. You got it.
And the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the vial, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly.
You can start there. See? So here's those events written and recorded in the scriptures. All right, which was all prophesied in Daniel 11 chapter. But we can get Daniel 11 and 32.
This book of Daniel, chapter 11, and verse 32, it says, "And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flattery."
Them sellouts. See? Them sellouts. And real quick, we can stand at First Maccabees 1. Let's jump down to, because, you know, pretty much as you read on, just, you know, goes into, you know, how, he pretty much, you know, destroyed the people, you know, set up idols, you know, polluted the temple, so on and so forth. All right, spoiled, all right, etc. You know, and in that, you know, he tried to sway Jake, you know, those who were revolting or, you know, against it, to just, you know, confide. All right, but can we get First Maccabees 1 and 60? Lord willing.
It's First Maccabees 1 and 60, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hung, the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel was fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
Yep.
Wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and
Oh,
that they.
shit, Slovakia. Hold on, I think I jumped the gun. Slovakia. Can we finish that Daniel 11 and 32?
Yeah. Daniel 11, 32.
Because that's going to go into the second portion of it.
I'll bring it back from the top. Daniel 11, verse 32. It says, "And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
Yeah.
But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits."
Right, dealing with the Maccabees. All right. And can you read that portion one more time, Slovakia?
What, Daniel?
It's upon Elder Bro.
What, 60?
Yeah, 60 or 61 now, got it.
So
Pretty much at this time, you had Israelites who sold out. All right, those who conform, what's it called? Conform, you know, to the ways of Antiochus by his flatteries, etc. But like I said, but the people that do know their God shall be strong. You see, going into those who revolted. You know, the notable family of Maccabees,
Precept of the day.
who revolted and trusted in who trusted in Yahweh Shai. All right, but you got it, Slovakia.
and it was like another group too. What was their name? I forgot their name. I believe they helped the Maccabees. They mentioned the name. I forgot. You know what I'm talking about?
Damn.
It started with A or something.
Assyrians.
Kind.
Assyrians, yep.
Yep. You know, but he said 60, right?
Yep. That just that same portion. Slovakia.
First Maccabees 1 and 60. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that have caused their children to be circumcised, and they hung the infants.
Oh, so my bad. Start at 50. Start at 50. Slovakia. Because that's going to break down that first portion. My bad.
This first Maccabees 1:50 says, "Whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered to them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and they did commit evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even whosoever they could flee for Shakir. Now the 15th day of the month, Calcilio, if I pronounced that wrong, in the 140th and 50th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and built idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt off incense in the doors of their houses and in the streets."
Con. Yep, and that's the point. But real quick, let me jump up. First Maccabees 1 and 41. It says, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yet many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath." You know, just going into, you know, how a lot of people conform to his ways. All right, you know. And he, you know, he set up flatteries, etc. Because when you deal with, I think First Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, all right, what did they try to do? You know, they tried to conform or use flatteries. Real quick, can we jump to the next chapter and start at man, this whole chapter is flames. But let's start at 24. Or no, I'm tripping. Start at 17. 16, sloppy, 16. Ah, man, damn. Yeah, just start at 16. Start at 16. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make it as edifying as possible so Jake can understand it, bro. You got it.
This is First Maccabees 2:16. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias, on this wise, thou art a ruler, and honorable, and great man in the city, and strengthful with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, let as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem.
So you had a lot of sellouts.
So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of thy king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
You see them flatteries, trying to bribe them, like, you know, because they were a notable family, you know, amongst the nation. See, you had some people who just performed, right? Like you said, you know, some stood stiff and stood strong. You see, but you can stop there, and you can continue in that Daniel.
So Daniel 11 and verse 33, it says, "And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity and by spoil many days."
Right. We just read a piece of, you know, a family who stood strong. But like it says, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many, right? Because not only did the Maccabees, but like you said, the Syrians, you had other individuals who stood stiff for the name of the Lord at that time. Okay, but like it said, yet they shall fall by the sword. Some died in doing that. You had men like Eleazar, 2 Maccabees 6, the brothers in the 2 Maccabees 7. Some still died in their boldness, okay, and them standing still for the Lord. You see, one more time it says, "Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity and by spoil many days." Right? Some men and, you know, women still died, okay, during that revolt. See. And then if you want to read further, you know, just read First Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, you know, in its entirety. But you got it, verse 34. Or real quick. Where we at on time? You take the time. Let's cue up 2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter.
45.
Okay. Let's cue up 2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter. Real quick. And because this is a great example of that, you know. And this man is, you know, worthy of praise by one of our forefathers who were written about in his time and who showed a great deal of faith.
Want to start with?
2nd Maccabees 6 and 18.
This is 2nd Maccabees 6 verse 18. Eleazar, got that one, no joke. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live strained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment. As it beloved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use. And make
They tried to, like, you know, listen, bro, just fake it. You know, here it is. Just take a lamb that look like a pork chop, you know, and eat it and act like, you know what I'm saying, just sway the people. But he's like, nah, bro, I ain't, you know, it's gonna stain my reputation. Nah, and he was an elder, you know, so he was thinking about the generations, you know, after him. Like, nah, you got it, bro.
This is, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
That's an Edomite, man. That's just I could just see it now. That's just an Edomite spirit. You know, that shit vexes you. That's just an Edomite spirit, that deceptive shit. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that's just Esau all the way, bro. But you got it, huh?
Verse 22, that in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, wherein has come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old, and 10, so he's 90 years old, were now gone to a strange religion. And so they thought, so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me. And I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable.
That's why,
Man,
man, this thing up, and this all gonna apply to now, dealing with the MOTB. Because they might come up, you know, to one of us. They might, you know, hey, just fake like you got the MOTB. Just try to get some of them dudes in GMS to, you know, here, man, we just gonna, you know, feel me? I mean, you know, we don't know how exactly it's gonna happen, but all in all, we know that, you know, we're gonna have to be, or we're gonna be tested, you know, with the same, you know, same things, all right, just in modern times. And we're going to have to show forth a great deal of faith like our forefathers did, man.
Yeah, it won't be swan's flesh this time. You know, niggas eat coon, rats, rabbits,
Right.
swan's flesh all day long.
Niggas ain't got no zeal.
They ain't care. They'll tear pig's ass up right now.
Bro, they will eat ass. It's niggas who eat rat balls. Hold on. Who was that one nigga who had, like, was it swine balls or some shit? He had them shits in a box, fried up.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's like some bull balls or some shit.
Yeah, bull balls and shit.
Man, your man's is out here frying sharp, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your one man's.
Frying
About to
snake.
baptize this chicken.
I'm about
Be
to baptize
baptized
this.
Yeah, that nigga.
That nigga bad.
baptized a bear paw.
Oh yeah, big bear joint, yeah.
Yeah, like this nigga ate a bear
That shit
calf.
Bro,
That shit is disgusting.
nasty.
E got package deals for everybody. He's
Bro.
gonna throw a package deal at everybody.
Nigga
Bro.
ate a whole cub.
Bear from a Sam's Club.
What did he say? Rabbit stew?
Yep.
Come on, bro.
Raccoon stew.
Come on, bro.
So that's easy for a nigga to do that.
Right. Now you gonna get tempted with that MOTB, which a lot of niggas gonna man, that's why the Maccabees is so fire right now, because it's like, bro, we about to re-enter into that period. It's like we're about to re-enter into every like big situation in the scriptures again. The Exodus, time of the Maccabees, you know, time of Acts.
Samuel.
Yep, you know, just these times where it was just heavy things going on in the spirit and amongst the nation, man. You know. But you got it, Quan.
Yep. It says, "For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty power, neither alive nor dead. But for now manfully changing his life, I will show myself such and one as mine age requireth,
Mm-hmm.
and leave a notable example to such as be young, be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws."
Mm-hmm.
And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
Yep. So you know, man, bro, shit heavy, bro. It's heavy. It's heavy. What verse you?
Second Maccabees 6:28.
It's heavy. It's heavy. But you know, of course, we know this man ended up perishing, and you read the chapter after that. You know, those brothers end up perishing as well for the faith. Okay. But where we at on time?
Should be around 55 at this point.
They got I mean,
Yeah, 51.
51. Jake getting spirit. Jake, come. All right. Well, let's get verse 35.
Then
Or where we at? Verse 30.
we at 34. I am
34.
34.
Okay, 34. Yeah. Come on.
This is Daniel 11 and verse 34. It says, "Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help,
Mm-hmm.
but many shall cleave to them with flatteries."
Right. See, so like you said, they shall be hoping with a little help. Okay, and we know we got situations or accounts, you know, in the Maccabees during this time where, you know, angels helped and aid in war. Okay, like the Elder Bro mentioned, the Syrians, what are the what's it called, Lycomedonians, you know how to pronounce it, you know, dealing with the Spartans, those Jews in those lands. Okay, but ultimately, all right, Rome helped them as well. Okay, real quick, let's just get a couple examples of how we were helped. It's at First Maccabees, is it 8? Yep, let's get First Maccabees 8 at the top real quick.
All right.
Maccabees 12, Second Maccabees 12 and 11.
I'll get to 12.
And then, you know, the brother your car got to depart, handle some family shit. So, take read this verse.
This is First Maccabees. This is First Maccabees 8 at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Now Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them,
Mm-hmm.
and that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts which they had done among the Galatians,
Mm-hmm.
and now they had conquered them and brought them under the tribute,
Mm-hmm.
and what they had done in the country of Spain for the winning of the mines of the silver and gold, which is the old man. This is a nice bridge too.
Mm-hmm.
And that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them. And the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had discomfited them and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them tribute every year.
Mm-hmm.
Beside this, how they had discomfited in battle Philip and Perseus, king of Sidons, with others that lifted up themselves against them and had overcome them, how also Antiochus the Great, king of Asia, that came against them in battle, having 120 elephants with horsemen and chariots, and a very great army was discomfited by them, and how they took him alive, and covenanted that he had such as reigned after him should pay a great tribute and give hostages that which was agreed upon.
Jump to 21.
First Maccabees 8:21,
Start at 20.
verse 20.
Start at 20. Start at 19.
Verse 19. They went therefore to Rome, which was a very great journey, and came into the Senate, where they spake and said, Judas Maccabeus with his brethren and the people of the Jews have sent us unto you to make a confederacy and peace with you, and that we might be registered your confederates and friends. So that matter pleased the Romans well. And this is the copy of the epistle which the Senate wrote back again in tables of brass and sent to Jerusalem, that there they might have by them a memorial of peace and confederacy. Man, this is so beautiful, it's powerful, because you can look at it to today of what they did with the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans today. Verse
This is how they were hoping or helped. See?
It says, good success be to the Romans, and then this comes with a price too.
Yep.
It says, good success be to the Romans and to the people of the Jews by sea and by land forever. The sword also and enemy be far from them. If there come first any war upon the Romans or any of their confederates throughout all their dominion, the people of the Jews shall help them, as the time shall be appointed with all their heart.
You pretty much can stop there through the spirit, but just going into some ways that were helped or hoping. All right, like I said, with a little help, it says, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. You see, and that many is dealing with, who was it at that time? Demetrius, okay, and who was the other individual? It was it 2 Maccabees 12. 2 Maccabees 12, and all right, because you had a lot of guys at that time, once they started to see, the Maccabees win, all right, they came through with them flatteries to try to join leagues with them, all right, because you had Demetrius, who was in a hostage at Rome, who tried to, make leagues with, the nation of Israel as well, all right, down the stretch. See, but that's, some more history, for another time, Lord willing. But let's just get verse 35 to try to keep the ball rolling, Lord willing.
You want Daniel?
Yeah. You gonna depart?
Yeah,
You got it out. Salute you.
Shalom.
Jay, want to continue or?
Just up to you.
Where we at? Verse 35. Where we at on time? Like an hour?
Yeah, we got an hour partner now. Oh, so we almost there.
Yeah, we got 10 more verses.
59 minutes.
I'm not somebody.
10 minutes. I think my buddy got called too, though. What you think, Quan?
35, so what's that gonna be like 10? And two script verses.
That'll be it. But I mean,
Gone. Yeah. I mean, 'cause I don't know what the breakdown, but I mean,
it'd be if I stop here, it'd be after this, it'd be
One more class.
oh, that would be perfect. Then.
Five part, I might have to merge that motherfucker. Probably the baddest breakdown in all of Israel.
Well, all right, Lord's will. You know, we had a younger brother depart, so we're gonna, just postpone the class. Well, I mean, we had our mark really, hour, whatever. But we're just gonna halt for now and pick it up next week, Lord willing. All right, and Lord willing, this was edifying to whoever may receive it. Okay, again, lengthy breakdown, so we're gonna chop it up as much as we can and try to be edifying. So that we're gonna give all the
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash.
the Lord's our beloved elders and apostles, the great millstone, shalom to open the up. Shalom to all the Akim pushing the truth. It's a series gonna say shalom, Kwame Asherah.
Shalom, call it,